Hello, hello. Welcome to my train of misery, that of which is my ultimate Ironman journey. I've never done one of these accounts before, so I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I've always had a huge amount of respect for these guys and figured why not give it a try? As you can see, I'm basically starting from scratch with a few exceptions. I just got to level 5 thieving for the Ardone Easy Diary, as well as a few woodcutting and firemaking levels when I was standing around deciding if I really wanted to go through with this or not. I played a hardcore Ironman before, and I had an absolute blast with it, which is ironic because there you try not to die, and from what I hear for an Ultimate Ironman, this is basically going to be encouraged. But as far as Ultimate Ironman goes, it's a whole new world, and I'm not really going to be following any particular efficiency guides or anything like that, so that way it keeps it interesting. Admittedly, I will still have to look up basic how-to stuff, otherwise I probably won't last very long. While I was standing around, I decided that I really needed some inspiration and assistance in starting, as I very much get paralysis by analysis, and I decided to make the jump after starting to watch Wildmudkip's Ultimate Ironman series, so this first part will be very similar, but afterwards I'll be branching off and try to do my own thing. I've just always enjoyed his content and felt he had some great starting points. If you haven't seen any of his content, then I do recommend you checking them out, as they're well worth the watch. For those of you unfamiliar, an Ultimate Ironman is the same as a regular Ironman in the sense that you are on your own and have to get everything yourself. But the major difference is that Ultimate Ironman do not have the ability to use a bank, so you do have to get very creative with your methods. With that being said, we are up here working our way up to 15 firemaking to burn oak logs, so we skip those early levels. So let's burn some logs and get ourselves our first level 15. Alright, 15 firemaking achieved. We can now burn some oak logs. And now what? Okay, so since we are already here, I figured we might as well knock out a classic, Cook's Assistant. This was the first quest ever released in RuneScape, and we'll need to get a few items for it. We'll need to get a bucket of milk, a trusty egg, and a pot of flour. So, let's go out and get ourselves some ingredients.
Cool. First ingredient down was said bucket of milk. Now to get that trusty egg from a nearby farmer.
Alright, 2 ingredients down and 1 to go. Now we just go get some wheat, so that way we can put it in the windmill right next door, so that way we can process it to get our pot of flour. Alright, final ingredient obtained, and now we make like Speedy Gonzales and blast our way back to the cook in no time flat. Or maybe not. I did forget that I'm level 1 agility, and our run energy is basically zilch. So I'm just gonna have to say that there was traffic, and hopefully we make it back in time for the birthday cake to be made. Alright, thankfully we made it just in time for the cook to make the cake. And now there we have it. Our first quest completion, granting us 300 cooking experience, which puts us now at level 4 cooking. Not bad at all. Okay, before we jump onto the infamous Shearer, we might as well start the Rune Mysteries quest by talking to Duke Horatio. This quest gives us the ability to begin the rune crafting skill, which undoubtedly will be very handy in the future. Although, I do wonder how that's going to work, though I'm not going to be worrying about finishing it right this minute, but it's good to start. Alright, so naturally, in order to shear the sheep, we're going to need a pair of shears. Who would have thought? So, let's get us a pair, and now we waltz our way down the road. This forced to walk routine is already killing me though, I'm not going to lie, but hey, I guess I signed up for it, right?
Knowing that I have to get 20 balls of wool, meaning multiple trips to complete this quest, makes me cringe knowing that this is only the beginning. One of those things where I can't tell if I should be more excited or terrified.
And that's round 1 complete. Beginning round 2. And we are done. Now to turn these in to finish this lovely classic. And that's quest number 2 completed, Shearer, giving us 150 crafting experience and 60 coins. How generous. Well, at least we got to level 3 crafting though. Next is going to be the Restless Ghost, as it provides a generous amount of prayer experience at the end, which is phenomenal, especially for an Ironman. Cool, got ourselves a Ghost Speak Amulet. While we're at the Wizard's Tower for the skull, we might as well continue Rune Mysteries as well by showing Sedrador the Talisman. Beats backtracking at a later time. And we're running for our lives. And another one bites the dust. Over 1100 prayer experience as well, putting us on at level 9. Can't beat that. So at this point, I was a little lost on what to do, and then with a tad bit of research, I remembered Misthalin Mystery was right next door. Unfortunately for me, someone didn't want me to do it, and I had to convince them otherwise. The results were absolutely disastrous. My god, this was bad. If you're thinking that I probably shouldn't be doing an Ultimate Ironman when I'm struggling with a rat, then you'd probably be right. But I'm going to do it anyway. Finally, that turret is gone, and I can finally begin the quest. I remember this one. This is the one with the mirrors and knives where they ricochet off of one another. Okay, am I the only one having issues with this? The wardrobes are supposed to turn black to show where the knives are coming from, and they're just not. So I have no idea where to go. Do I just suck? I don't know. Okay, so that took me far longer than it should have, but yet another quest done with 600 crafting experience, putting us at level 7 along with some jewelry that we can't use. So, I remembered that I grabbed the rat meat from Master Splinter earlier and decided to cook it, which actually got me to level 5 cooking. Ninjutsu for the win. One thing I had just found out about recently was that if you have a Jagex account and a bank pin set, then Count Check actually gives you an XP lamp along with a one-time free teleport to the Stronghold of Security. This may be controversial to some, especially with what's going on right now, but as this is a new account and I'm going to need the money, I've got no regrets. So let's go ahead and take them up on the offer as we've already got our steps in for the day. Here we are, as promised, at the nostalgic barbarian village. We're gonna have to go down into 3 levels to get our first 10k, but then it dawned on me that we're probably gonna need some food, otherwise we might just die. But that's okay because it works out. There just so happens to be some cooked meat over here in the dining hall. It's like they knew we were coming or something. There's one and two, and now off to the races. So one little trick that some people may not know is that if you simply spam click on the doors when given a question, it'll skip the question and let you pass through it. Sometimes it does take a little bit, but it does work. Unless you're a Jeopardy fan and like to answer questions, in which what is useless knowledge, Alex, is the answer. Okay, so I'm already feeling the heat here, and now need to figure out how to make room for these coins I'm about to receive. I don't want to drop anything just yet, so do I have anything equipped? Nope. All right, cool. Then I'll just equip this, and now I've got one slot open. Let's open the chest. Wait, it didn't. Oh my God. I already have coins. So dumb. Chest number 2 out of the way, putting us at 5k. Now on to number 3, putting us at our first 10k. This should be pretty helpful. So I know I said that we only needed to go 3 levels down, but I remembered that for a diary task, we need to get one of the boots and do all the emotes. So while we're already here, might as well knock it out. Not gonna lie though, these ghosts and Ankus are making me nervous here. Ouch. That certainly didn't feel good. Well, at least we made it, and now we can. Oh my god. Dude, that was just a little too close. Okay, there comes a time in every player's life where they must take that step and embrace perfection. And there is only one right answer. That's right, it's the fancy boots. Now that we have them, we can go ahead and put these beauties on. Oh yeah, look at that fashion scape. And that means we can also knock out that diary task as well. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, and done. Cool. So, since we're already on this side of town, we might as well continue the rune mysteries by bringing this present to Augury here in Varrock. Cool. Got some notes in return, and now on to the next step. Or quest, I mean. I just couldn't resist it being so simple and yet worth 5 quest points. Okay, I don't remember Juliet's room being this bright. Has it always been this vibrant? Oh, it's the plugin. Well, that makes sense. I've always found this ending to be hilarious. I do feel bad for Juliet, though. Alright, Romeo and Juliet is completed, and I guess now that means I have absolutely no excuses but to return to the Wizard's Tower and finish Rune Mysteries. And as promised, Rune Mysteries is now completed, granting us the ability to runecraft. Alrighty, well, I really want to use this XP lamp, and there's only one skill to use that on, which is Herblore, which requires us to complete Druidic Ritual. However, since we are here in Draenor, let's buy ourselves a Chronicle and some teleport cards. This will come in handy as they're teleports to the Champions Guild, which, for all intents and purposes, is a Varrock teleport that we can use right now. To complete Druidic Ritual, we're going to need raw bear meat, raw beef, raw chicken, and raw rat meat, which is definitely not what I cooked and ate earlier. Wait, what? Hey, look at this. It's a Parent Trap. Alright, so I was subconsciously wondering what I was doing going to Lumbridge Castle, and it literally was to go to the bank, only to be severely disappointed. This is going to take some time to adjust. Alright, we got our raw rat meat, our raw beef, raw bear meat, and our raw chicken, which now gives us the ingredients to complete the quest. Alright, so we go talk to this guy, and this guy. Now we run down this pathway. Dip these meats in the cauldron. Give him back to guy number 2. Return to number 1. And there we have it. Druidic Ritual completed, allowing us to use the Herblore skill. Also putting us at level 3, which is always a bonus. Ooh, and now we can use that XP lamp for it as well. Use it here. And look at that, level 4. Since we were right here, I did consider trying to work towards the witch's house, since hit points isn't a major factor in Wintertot anymore with the new updates, but I opted against it since the combat is still a bit above me. But since we're talking about the witches, I think to finish off this episode with a bang, we'll knock out the witch's potion, which is significantly easier than its counterpart. We'll just need to go pick up some items on the way to Remington. Those items being some burnt meat, an eye of newt, an onion, and a rat's tail. Got ourselves some burned meat. Getting the eye of newt from Betty. Getting an onion from over here. Well, so much for going out with a bang. My computer decided to mess with the footage I had from obtaining the rat's tail and completing the quest, so unfortunately I don't have it anymore. But we did complete the quest, which granted us 325 magic experience, getting us to level 7 magic. Well, that completes day 1 of the Ultimate Ironman. It's definitely going to be a challenge, but I'm having a blast, and I'm really looking forward to doing some more. Think we'll be starting off next with the Artie Easy Diary, and then go from there. But that being said, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one.